Bum, bum, bum.
I'll be
Bum,
home. I'll be home for Christmas. You can plan on me. Please have snow and mistletoe and presents on the tree.
Christmas Eve will find me where the love light gleams. I'll be home for Christmas, if only in my dreams. I'll be home for Christmas,
If
only in
my dream. I'll be home.
I'll be
But I want to talk a little bit today about what do you do when your Christmas doesn't seem merry? What do you do when your Christmas doesn't seem merry? Or maybe why? Why is my Christmas not merry? Why does my Christmas feel more like a Scrooge? Why does my Christmas feel more like a Grinch? Why does my Christmas feel like Mr. Potter? Or Bumble, the abominable snowman. Or I'm just simply having a Charlie Brown Christmas. Here's what I know. There are all kinds of thieves that want to steal the merry out of your Christmas. Wants to steal the peace and the joy and the happiness. You know, last Christmas, my son Caleb and his wife Ashley had a Christmas ornament in their front yard, and someone came and stole the Christmas ornament. There are all kinds of Christmas thieves. You watch it on the news now where security cameras are picking up people who are stealing packages that are being delivered off your front door. And if you allow yourself to, this Christmas won't be merry. Why? Because there's a lot of pains in my life. And there's a lot of losses in my life that I experienced this year. And I'm experiencing a lot of lack that's in my life. Well, here's what's important to know, that in spite of what you're going through, you have a choice. Let me share with you, the University of Cambridge did a study. And they said that Christmas Day is one of the hardest days for people to deal with. The American Psychology Association said 44% of women experience additional stress and tiredness during this time. 31% of men said they do, and 45% of people said they'd rather skip this day. What is it? What is it about this one day that causes so much emotion in people's lives? Why is this polar opposite contrast where some are discouraged, depressed, where some are rejoicing and merry? What goes on in this day? If this day never existed, if this day isn't real, then why do people react the way they do? But there must be some message, there must be some truth, there must be some mission, some ministry, and some person that the enemy wants to try to fight against the power that's in this day. We know that Jesus wasn't literally born on December 25th. In the calendar, he was probably born more toward the spring. But regardless of this not being the day, there was a day that Jesus Christ was born. I'm not here to argue. So we must recognize that it's important to recognize, how do we overcome this losing our merriness in Christmas? We must recognize that in spite of my circumstances, how I feel, in spite of my lack and my losses, I have a choice. When Herod the king heard this, he was troubled. When he had heard that Jesus was alive, this king, this man of fame and fortune and power, was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. Then Herod, this king, when he saw that he was deceived by the wise men, was exceedingly angry. And he sent forth and put to death all the male children. If this Jesus is not a king and he's not real, then why is it causing so much commotion in this king that he wants to kill Jesus? Kill the holiday, kill the holy day, kill the message, kill the Merry Christmas. Let's call it Happy Holidays. Let's call it Season's Greetings. Let's call it Fall Harvest, but let's not call it Merry Christmas. It still existed back then. It made a king angry, who were in Bethlehem and in all its districts, from 2 years old and under, according to the time which he had determined from the wise men. First, there's Herod, number 2. And she brought forth her firstborn son and wrapped him in swaddling cloths and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn. The second person is the innkeeper. And last of all, a voice was heard in Ramah, lamentations, weeping, and great mourning. Rachel, weeping for her children, refusing to be comforted because they were no more. So I want you to recognize there are 3 distinct individuals, Herod, the innkeeper, and Rachel, that are not having a Merry Christmas. They're not celebrating the birth of Christ. There's no celebration in their life. But there's an opposite that takes place. For I want you to recognize, from Herod comes the wise men who are being merry and celebrating. And from the innkeeper, who's bothered and he doesn't have no time, and he doesn't have no time to celebrate. So I want you to recognize Herod was angry. Herod was mad. The innkeeper was busy. He had no time in his schedule. And then Rachel is someone that's weeping with great lamentations. She's discouraged and depressed. And all those are type of emotions that still you're merry, and why we don't celebrate the day. It's a day that brings out emotions in me. Well, I want you to know today, all 3 of these individuals are not having a Merry Christmas because they took Christ out of the mess.
We want to thank all of you for tuning in to Real with Diego during this holiday season. If you'd like weekly updates on upcoming episodes, please visit and like our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel. The thing that makes the holidays so great is all of you, because the show wouldn't be where it is without your support. So make sure you like, repost, hashtag, and share. Life is better when you share. During this Christmas season, do us a favor and give us a quick message. We'd love to hear from you during this time of year. And if you are ever in the Inland Empire, please come and visit. There's always fun things happening here during the holidays. We just need you to do one simple thing. Come as you are.
I want you to recognize that this day is just not a holiday. This day is a holy day. Because here's what I know about holidays. Holidays don't bring me no comfort. Holidays don't bring me no hope. Holidays don't bring me no peace, no joy. Actually, some holidays make me more tired after the holiday. But holy days bring me joy. They bring me peace. They bring you happiness. They bring me comfort. They bring me mercy. They give me hope. They give me forgiveness. They give me grace. And that's the message of the cross today. We can't take, I don't care how politically correct it seems, and how offensive it may seem, and how socially acceptable it is to take the Christ out of the must. But you can't do that, or you'll not have a Mary in your life. I want you to recognize, it's important to realize that Christmas Day is not your birthday, and it's not a party for you. I got some people helping me preach today. I made a decision this past year, and that's what you're going to have to decide. See, to be Mary, the way you're going to be Mary, Mary starts with your words. Mary starts with your thoughts. Mary starts with how you live, your actions. If you don't talk right and you don't think right and you don't act right, your life isn't going to be Mary. It's a choice that you make. The reason why maybe you're discouraged and depressed is because what I think about and how I talk and who I hang around and the places that I go. This year I made a decision to separate myself from the negativity that's in my life. That doesn't mean I don't pray for people. That doesn't mean I don't love people. But there are certain things that I have to distance myself, or if I could use a strong word, divorce myself from, because they keep tripping up my emotions. And I have a choice to make, whether I'm going to allow that to affect me and still my joy and still my peace, or I'm going to disconnect myself from the emotion of that thing and put no more expectation that they will control my joy, they will control my peace, or they will control my happiness. I made that decision this year. Again, it's important. I'm doing a rewind now, but it's important now that we recognize, that Christmas, again, is not your birthday and it's not your party. It's Jesus's birthday and it's Jesus's party. So why are you stressed? And why are you strained? And why are you so pressured and tensed? Why are you grieving and full of sorrow? Why are you discouraged, upset, and sad? So what if your expectations are not met? It's not your birthday. So what if you don't get the perfect present under the tree? It's not your party. So what if things don't turn out tomorrow at Christmas or tonight the way they should? So what if you didn't cook the perfect meal? So what if the traffic takes you so long to get somewhere? The lines are too big. The decorations blew off your Christmas tree, and all your front yard decorations are down the street. You don't even know where they are because of the winds been blowing so hard. I want you to recognize today, for the shepherds and for the wise men, and for Anna and for Simeon, I want you to recognize their Mary came through worshiping Jesus, through loving Jesus, and through serving Jesus. Their joy, their peace, their Mary came because they were watchful of him. They were listening to him. They were attentive to him. These are things that will make us merry in our lives. So let's give up this myth of perfection that robs us. People are not having Merry Christmases because they live in a myth of perfection. That my money has to be perfect, my house has to be perfect, my children have to be perfect, my marriage has to be perfect. Can I say this, that everybody has drama in your family? You don't have to be the Kardashians. You don't have to be the Chrisleys, and you don't have to be the Lyons. You got drama in your family. So get over the myth of perfection. I have a loving family, a wonderful family, a family full of preachers, but we got a whole lot of drama in my family. But that's okay. It's my drama. And I'm going to turn it on over to the Lord, and I'm going to cast my care on him. But just give up this illusion of having a perfect family and a drama-free life. That's why you got the grace of God in your life. Stop looking for one day a year to fix all the problems in your life. We think Christmas Day is going to erase the 364 days that we've been living, all the issues, how we've been acting. And it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. I have this motto in life. Live every day as though it's a big day so that when big day comes, you can enjoy them. But if you don't live every day as a big day, then when big days come, you won't enjoy them. See, one day a year you have a marriage. It's called an anniversary. And if you haven't been treating each other right 364 days, what do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do? I guess we're supposed to go to dinner, I don't know, or hold hands, or at least kiss. I don't, just any other day to me. See, because you haven't been living a big day all through the year. But if you've been living a big day all the year, oh, this is a special day.
If you need someone to talk to, please call us now. You are not alone, even if you feel like you are. So don't wait another second. Pick up your phone and call now.
And last of all, I want you to recognize, plan ahead. Plan ahead because you know you and you know where you're going. So don't let it steal your Mary. You know who's going to be at your family gathering later today. So just plan ahead. Think through how you're going to hold them. Think through the nod you're going to get. What's up? Think through the escape hatch that somebody's going to help you to get out of the conversation. Say banana and I'll come and rescue you. Just say banana and I'll come and rescue you. Banana, banana, banana. Okay, yes. Your phone, somebody's at the front door. Your car, your car's on fire. Something. But plan ahead. You know this year, this time rolls around every year, so prepare yourself emotionally. Plan ahead. You know you. You know how you act. You know how you think. You know what this day brings about. So plan ahead. I want you to recognize the importance is this, is that Christmas Day is not about you receiving or about you getting or about you having. Christmas Day is about you giving. And the more you give, the more merrier you will be. But the more selfish and stingy and hoarding I am, then the more sad I'm going to be. This Christmas Day is really all about giving. And so I want you to recognize you and I need to give hope away this Christmas. And the way we give hope away is to give Jesus to people. Share our faith, share the story of Christ with other people. We need to give our time. We need to give our touch. We need to give conversations. We need to give deeds. We need to give smiles and forgiveness to people. All those things won't cost you nothing. And what you need to give is you need to give the very best you to somebody. The very best you is a person that doesn't cause a burden to you. The very best you is a person that doesn't blame people, doesn't walk around as a victim, doesn't always have excuses for their lives, and never quits. That's the best you could give to people. You want to give a present to people, give them you. Let go of your excuses. Stop blaming people. Stop walking around as a victim. Stop being a burden to people, and don't quit. But I want you to recognize it's all about giving. It's all about giving to people that don't deserve it, don't merit it, people that can't earn it, ugly people, weird people, indifferent people, strange people. Look at somebody and say, now I know he's talking about you. These are the kinds of people that we work with, we live with in our neighborhoods. They're hurting, they're broken, they're confused, they're living dark lives. And we've got to give Jesus to these kinds of people. You know, I don't know about you, ever since was a little boy that I can remember, my parents back then would take me to Disneyland. Every one of us have been to Disneyland one way or another, and there's this one ride that I think every one of us have been on. It's called It's a Small World. And when you were a little kid, it was the best ride you ever went on. I mean, to see the little boys and the little girls singing and dancing, and to see all the pretty lights, and to see the glitter, and go into that boat and just float along. Now, as you get an adult, the small world ain't your favorite ride when you go to Disneyland. Let's just be honest. Because it's kind of outdated. I mean, with so much animation now and movements, the small world can sometimes be too familiar to us and not attractive anymore. What happened? What happened? We lost the wonder of it. And Christmas, when you were young, meant everything to you. The older you get, you've lost the wonder of it. The birth of Christ, you've heard it too many times. The celebration of the wise men and the shepherds and the angels and the virgin and Emmanuel, God with us. It's lost its wonder. It's lost its luster. And I'm asking you, I don't care how many Christmases you've experienced. I don't know how many Christians you've had in the faith. But I'm asking you to not allow it to lose its wonder or its luster in your life. Here's why I could tell you as I end this message. Here's how I can tell you that you're going to have a Merry Christmas. That in spite of what you're going through, lay Jesus over it today. Lay Jesus over it today. You want to know why you're going to have a Merry Christmas? Because he was born, and because he lived, and because he died, and because he was resurrected, and because he sits at the right hand of the Father, and because he's going to return. That's why you're going to have a Merry Christmas. You're going to have a Merry Christmas because eternity stepped into time. He walked away from his heavenly throne to come in the form of a manger. He became death so that you can experience life. He went to hell so that you can go to heaven. He became full of God's wrath, punishment, damnation, and torment so that you could be loved, full of mercy and grace. I want you to know he was wounded for your transgressions. He was bruised for your iniquity. The chastisement of your peace was upon him, and by his stripes you were healed. He who knew no sin became sin, so that you might be made the righteousness of God in Christ Jesus. He became everything that you weren't so that you could become everything that he is. Your Christmas is going to be merry because your Christmas is not locked up under a Christmas tree. It's not limited to a day off. It's because of Jesus. That's why my Christmas is merry. Now let me end with this at the end of the day. Luke 10 and verse 20 says this. Be happy, be glad, and rejoice. Why? Because your names are written in heaven in the Lamb's book of life. There it is. I'm happy because my name is recorded, remembered in heaven. It can't be erased. It's there forever. Because I've accepted Jesus, guys, I can rejoice in this fallen, broken, hurtful, painful world. My name is not written in a star of fame in Hollywood. My name is written in the Lamb's book of life. Merry Christmas.
You know, the Christmas story is a real story. It's celebrated all around the world today. It doesn't matter what culture you have. You might be part of 196 nations around this world. But somehow Christmas has really lost its meaning. It's become very, very ceremonial. It's become very, very materialistic. It's driven around entertainment, music, songs, presents, lights. But you know what? The real story is very simple. It's a story of a baby who came to this earth. It was God himself to redeem a fallen world, sinners like you and I, people that were hopeless and helpless in the life that we were living, people that couldn't change the outcome of their lives. God wanted a relationship with us. And instead of sending someone in his place or sending an angel or an advocate, he sent himself. He said, I will come and I will redeem mankind. See, Christmas is more than just a story of a a baby and some sheep and lambs. It's a real story about Jesus coming to this earth to die for all mankind's sin. So yes, he started off as a baby in the story, but he grew up to be a man, and that man hung on a cross. And so you can't get too far away from the Christmas story to recognize that Jesus went to the cross for you and I. I want you today to open your heart to the real Christmas story of the fact that you and I are sinners. And the nature of us as sinners is we sin. We do wrong. Yeah, I know there are moments when we do right, but we're sinners by nature. And we need a Savior today. We are drowning in an ocean full of sin, whether it's in our thoughts, our words, or our actions. We can't please God. There's no way we can reach up to God's standard of righteousness, holiness, or purity. But that's why Jesus came to this earth during this Christmas season, or what we celebrate. And open your heart today to the real meaning and the real story behind Christmas. And say, you know what? I've had a lot of Christmases with songs. I've had a lot of Christmases with music. I've had a lot of Christmases with drinking and decorations. But I've not had one Christmas with Jesus, who died for me, and me loving him enough to give him my heart today. I don't know where your pains are. I don't know where your sorrows are this Christmas. I don't know where your emptiness is, and I don't know what you're seeking or looking after. But Jesus does. Will you invite him right now into your heart to be your Lord and Savior? Just say this with me. Dear Jesus, I open my life to you. Come and live in my heart. I believe you died on the cross for my sins, and I will follow you all the days of my life. This is more than a prayer. This is a lifetime commitment. I want to thank you for saying that prayer. You're a child of God. Heaven is your home. It's been real coming to you today. Hey, Merry Christmas. We want to invite you to one of our services here at Abundant Living Family Church. You may not go to church. You may have never been to church. You just like watching our program, or maybe this is the first time you're ever watching the program. Thank you. We want to invite you to one of our church services so that you can experience all that we offer within one of our services. I promise you, you won't be disappointed. It will be exciting, and it will be real, and it will be fun, and you'll meet some new friends, and I promise you, God will talk to you. I have some friends with me right now. I got my buddy Shelton. Last program, I introduced you to Alexander, and this is the kind of guys that I hang out with. I hang out with girls too, but these are the kind of guys that are welcome. All kinds of girls, guys, ethnicities are welcome here at Abundant Living. We let you belong, whoever you are, before we ask you to believe or to become. So you just come and hang out with us, and maybe this guy can find him a date this Christmas.